What would you do if the world turned its back on the one you love most? I never thought I'd have to answer that question until that crisp autumn afternoon in the park, when the laughter of strangers became a knife in my heart. My son, Eli, only 10 years old, was different. His wide eyes saw the world through a lens of wonder, but his halting speech and unsteady gait drew stares. Cerebral palsy shaped his body, but not his spirit. To me, he was perfect. To others, that day, he was a spectacle. It was a community fair, alive with the hum of families, food stalls, and games. Eli loved these outings. His laughter, bright and unfiltered, rang out as he clutched my hand, pointing at a balloon-twisting clown. I smiled, savoring his joy. But as we moved toward the face-painting booth, I noticed a group of parents nearby. Their eyes locked onto Eli, their whispers sharp and cutting. "Look at him," one woman muttered, her voice loud enough to carry. "Why bring a kid like that here?" A man chuckled. "Must be exhausting, dragging him around." My stomach twisted, but Eli, oblivious, tugged me forward, eager for a painted tiger on his cheek. I tried to ignore them. I knelt beside Eli, helping him choose colors, but the comments grew bolder. "He's holding up the line," another parent scoffed. A mother pulled her daughter away, as if Eli's condition was contagious. My hands trembled. I wanted to shield him, to wrap him in my arms and make the world disappear. But Eli noticed. His smile faltered, his eyes searching mine. "Dad, why are they looking at me?" he asked, his voice soft but piercing. I had no answer that wouldn't break his heart. Enough was enough. I stood, taking Eli's hand. "Let's go, buddy," I said, forcing a smile. The parents watched, their smirks smug, as if they'd won something. But this wasn't over. Not for me. Not for Eli. As we walked away, I made a silent vow. They'd regret their cruelty. At home, Eli was quiet. He sat on the couch, clutching his favorite stuffed dinosaur, his eyes distant. "Do I make people mad, Dad?" he asked. My heart shattered. I pulled him close, promising him he was enough, more than enough. But words weren't enough. I needed to act. I needed to show him and them that his light would not be dimmed. The next morning, I called the community center. I'd heard they were planning a family day, and I had an idea. I proposed a workshop, one where kids and parents could learn about differences physical, mental, all kinds. I'd lead it, with Eli by my side. To my surprise, they agreed. I spent days preparing, gathering stories, videos, and activities to show that disability didn't define a person. Eli helped, his excitement growing as he picked out photos of himself hiking, painting, and laughing. "We're going to teach them, Dad," he said, his grin wide. The day of the workshop arrived, and the room was packed. Among the crowd, I spotted them, the parents from the fair. Their faces were unreadable, but they were there. I took a deep breath and began. I shared Eli's story, his triumphs, his struggles. I showed videos of him mastering new skills despite his challenges. Then Eli stood up. His voice shook at first, but it grew steady. "I'm not broken," he said. "I'm just me." The room was silent, the weight of his words sinking in. I invited families to try activities simulating disabilities, navigating with limited mobility, communicating without words. The parents from the fair hesitated but joined in. The woman who'd sneered, struggled to guide a wheelchair through an obstacle course. Her face reddened, frustration clear. Afterward, she approached me, eyes down. "I didn't know," she said. "I'm sorry." Others followed, some tearful, some quiet, all changed. They saw Eli not as a burden, but as a boy with dreams as big as theirs. The workshop spread. Schools invited us to speak. Local papers covered Eli's story, calling him an inspiration. But to me, he was just my son, teaching me courage every day. Those parents never mocked again. Some became advocates, sharing our message. Others faded away, their regret a quiet lesson. Eli, though, soared. He walked taller, spoke louder, his spirit unshaken. That day in the park, I could have lashed out, let anger win. Instead, I chose to walk away with Eli, to build something better. We didn't just make them regret their wordsway, showed them a world where every child shines. And in Eli's smile, I saw the truth. Love doesn't just endure, it transforms.